Bless, bless, bless. It's the Down to Earth Network, Down to Earth Podcast with your host, Sean Myrie. This episode's about a certain individual, hip hop veteran, Lord Jamar. Very controversial. Recently, he called out, Fat Joe for saying the N word, or, saying he could say the N word, or he was on Matt Hoffa's show and called out the foundational Black Americans, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking really about the platform he was on, talking about the flat earth, because he believes in the flat earth versus the sphere, right? So there's been a lot of talk recently about this. I noticed on social media, and he's a 5%er. But it's not just 5%ers that believe in the flat earth versus the sphere. Now, it's very controversial. People will believe science, what they tell you, the same people who mix up history books and the Bible, right? You're going to believe them. But the flat earth has been in ancient biblical books, right? That's what it's been in a lot of those types of things. The concept, if you want to call it a concept. Now, if you want to believe, for example, America been to the moon, you can believe that. But there's so much evidence showing that it was created CGI style, right? AKA Disney style. And a lot of stuff that they're telling us, right, is basically not true. It's funny that when you go to the other subject, the alien subject right now in these days, they're not associating the aliens coming from space. They're saying the aliens are coming from the water now, right? Most of the ocean or our waters have never been discovered, but there is a space, right? So the flat earth thing, I'm not going to get too much into the science, but there's a lot of evidence, as much as they want to say there's a sphere, right, that is flat. Remember, you could have an illusion of as a sphere for the atmosphere. Hear it. Atmosphere can make something look round or look a certain way, right? So a lot of people don't understand what the flat earth science, if you want to say, is, right? So a flat earth is more like a bowl, right? A bowl with a lot of water in it. And they talk about the dome. And they're saying, can you fall off? No. And then you hear about the ice wall. And beyond the ice wall, there's other landmass. That's what they're linking now, where the quote unquote aliens are coming from. The ice wall. So now you're going to say, oh, what about the planets out there, what we see in the sky? Those planets, I believe, is the same Earth, what you're seeing. Just far out there where you cannot reach. It's the same Earth. They have made movies like this, basically going to another, what they say, world, but it's the same Earth you're on. They have made movies like Stargate. Look that up. They're telling you something. If you want to believe all this science they've been telling us for over 60 or 70 years, you can believe it. They've been talking about aliens, and they've been saying it was a hoax for a long time, and now they're saying it's real. A lot of people who are quote unquote smart, they believe there's other life out there in the universe besides us. What about on Earth? Have we visited everywhere on Earth? Well, back to Lord Jamar. So Lord Jamar is getting the heat right now, right? And he's looking kind of crazy because you know what? Most people who talk about flat Earth are looked on crazy. They're not looked on as very intelligent, even though there's a lot of people who are intelligent that believe in the flat Earth. It's like people who say they believe in Jesus, and there's a lot of evidence saying there is none, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, and not everybody believes in Jesus as the Savior. But with the flat Earth, there's a lot of science behind it, right? When you go high up in to the so-called sky. If the sun's up there, wouldn't you be burning up? Why is it more cold? Why is it more cold? And when you go up, why is the force pulling you back down? Right? There's gravity, right? So you're supposed to be going close to space where there's no gravity. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, what they want us all to believe is they're taking a rocket going out there. What is out? Do we know what's up and what's down? Is there up and down? Is there up and down? Because in space, the so-called space, there is no up, no down, no side. And space supposed to be like a vacuum, very cold. So we have these things we make on Earth. What can it can survive in that environment? Colder than probably the Arctic. So we can make something that could survive that environment. Really think of it, right? And I've been hearing. I watched a show, well, the episode with Lord Jamar's platform, which a flat earther and another individual, and they're talking about the satellites. If we have all these thousands of satellites, why is it when you're taking a plane, it has problems connecting to these satellites, which should be more close to you? All these satellites, thousands of satellites, what supposedly be in space, should be connecting with your device because it's linked, right? I'm no scientist, but I would think that. So Lord Jamar, the 5%er, is getting ripped up, but he does not represent all the people who talk about the flat earth. He's just a small percentage. No disrespect.